Hi Flosstube, happy Sunday. Welcome to my corner of the internet. My name is Sherry and this is Flosstube number 6. I'm sitting on the floor because I have all my WIPs laid out in front of me, and I was going to give you a WIP parade today, a mid-year WIP parade. Some of the projects I have laid out on the floor are things I've worked on, and some I've only shown and probably not done much. So because you see this is in my room. I bought this at Costco because it is a really sturdy box. You can sit on it, but I also don't like projects laying out all over the place. So I can keep everything I'm going to show you as far as a WIP goes in this lined up, and I can just select out of it what I want to stitch. So when I show you each one of these and where I am and where I hope to be, maybe talk a little bit about where I hope to be by the end of the year on some of these, I'll just stick them in here and then pull them out as the mood strikes me to stitch on them. So let's open this lid. Today is June 30th, it's Sunday, and the last time I recorded Flosstube number 5, it was June 2nd. I did write notes this time so I wouldn't get lost or off track. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the last month. I worked on a few projects, but I did travel. I went to Texas. I usually go every year to the San Antonio area for the Under the Sea Fabrics retreat. Leslie does a fabulous job pulling retreats together every year. We get well over 150 people. I think this time we had about 160. It was a new hotel to the team and to everyone who shows up for the retreats. Everyone had a great time, lots of games, lots of prizes. Drin designed a retreat giveaway for everyone, so everyone got this little project. It was very sweet. Everyone had a good time. It was just a good time. It's a good time to get together with old friends, make new friends, spend money on fabric, take a drive over to the tinsmith's wife in Comfort, Texas, which is always a good time. Anyway, so we did that, and then we drove over to Houston and stayed in the Woodlands at the Woodlands Resort so that my husband could spend time with his adult children and grandkids, and we drove from Colorado. So driving to San Antonio was about 14 hours and driving home was about 16 hours from Houston. So it was long. We got home earlier this week. I was tired. I'm really proud of myself because I was able to get a workout in every single day. One of the retreat goers, a friend of mine named Shannon, we worked out every morning together. That was really great, and working out in the hotel in Houston was amazing. What a gym they had. So at least I was able to do that and not go completely crazy with food. And you know, I've told you all before, what's important to me first and foremost is my health, and trying to stay in relatively decent shape as I age. So with that said, it was a nice trip. It was a long trip. I really am a homebody. I am a creature of my environment here. I love traveling, but you know, it is what it is. I have to get ready for travel in September. My husband and I are going to Oregon. We're going to Portland. I am going to the Acorns and Threads Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, which I'm really excited about. My husband's birthday is September 11th, so we're going to take a couple of days before and go to the coast. And then I think I've said before, my daughter's getting married in Tuscany, Italy in October, so we are taking a trip for about 10 days to Italy in October. And then I will be tripped out, so we'll stay home for the holidays. With that said, I had a finish. I think some of you may have seen on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I joined the Hugo Stitcher Samantha's Live in the Sunshine Sal last year in August. Now, to be fair, I had already started stitching Summer Quaker a little before that, so I wasn't very far. And when she came up with the idea, I said, sure, why not? It'll keep me on track. I stitched Summer Quaker on and off throughout the last 10 months, and I had a finish. So I'm going to share. I stitched it on 40 count Beach Walk from Under the Sea Fabrics, and I used all the called for colors. Let's see how this looks on camera. I apologize, I don't have a board in here to share it on, but wow, look at that. Let's see, I might be able to put it on this. This will work. There we go. I'm so proud of it. It looks so good. Can you see the sparkle in the fabric? Yep, you can see it. It just looks great. I love it. I think it came out so nice. It's very summery, very beachy. I just love it. So this will be going with my previous finish that I showed a couple of videos ago from With Thy Needle and Thread, Every Opening Flower. I'm going to take these two pieces and one more, which I plan to finish soon, to Colorado Cross Stitchers shop and the framer that works out of her shop, because she's great. And I'm going to have her frame all three pieces. So that was my one finish. Before I go further in the finishes though, I wanted to show you the fabrics that I got at Retreat, because really that's what I spent my money on at Retreat. I went a little cuckoo, but you know, it's fabric, and really I don't buy many charts anymore, but I definitely like to have fabric. Oh, the Bella Filipina that we got at Retreat. This was what we got. Isn't she pretty? Very sweet, very nice design. So let's go through the fabric I got. This is a piece of Spellbound. This is Under the Sea Fabrics. It's 40 count linen, and of course, knowing me, it's opal. Look at how pretty that is. And there is a method to why I grabbed this piece and a couple of others, and I'll talk to you about that as I show these. It's looking a little gray on camera. Let's see if this might pick it up a little better. It's really kind of bluish gray. So there's that piece. And this piece was a new to me color called Chamomile. Oh, that's really picking up true. This is a fat half. And it's, of course, also in Sparkle, Opalescent. And it is also 40 count. Oh yeah, that's true to color. It's really pretty. And then I'm going to share this piece first, I think. This is Ashura, and this is 40 count opal, and it's linen. And this is more, well, kind of, yeah, that looks pretty true. It's more green though, I think. So maybe, well, the shadows aren't allowing it to pick up, but if I bring it close, you can see, look at that beautiful sparkle. It's so subtle. And I'm going to put these aside for right now and then show you those. Okay, so these three that I'm showing you here. So the Ashura, the Spellbound, and the Chamomile. I grabbed these because, and in 40 count specifically, because I think with this piece that I just finished, this one of these would be a good complement to it maybe a couple of them for the other Quakers that Leela's Studio has put out. So even though I've already kitted up Autumn Quaker, I actually really like this chamomile color, and I think I might use that. And then the other two for the upcoming Winter Quaker that she did share a little glimpse of on her, I think, Instagram one night, and a couple of us went, ooh, we want to stitch that as well. So I might use one of those pieces for that. And then I got just gobsmacked at this color. I have purple and different shades of purple sparkle fabric, but I've really been looking for something that has this depth of purple and almost reddish. Oh my gosh, that's so true to this. Look at this color. This is 32 count Nephili in opal, and it's from Under the Sea Fabrics, and I just couldn't resist. I bought the half. So look at that. It is just beautiful. And sparkle, because I just can't get away from sparkle, but this is definitely Mira bound. So I don't know what Mirabilia I'll put on this or use this piece or two of these for, but this will definitely be Mira. This is Pea Flower Tea from Under the Sea Fabrics. It's 28 count opalescent, and this will also be a Mira. This is a fat half. That's pretty true. It's a, sorry, my window is shedding light through the fabric. It's, let me fold it this way. It's lavender. It's really, really subtle and pretty. And this will definitely be a Mira. I just don't know which ones. And I don't know when I'll kit them, which I did just count how many kitted projects I have, and I'm up to 67. I know I had more, but I think they're in here now, works in progress. And then I bought a 40 count fat half of that same color, and you can see the difference. I think you can see. One is, yeah, you can see. The 40 count is more, it's deeper. This is light. So the 40 count, it's saturated purple. It's pretty. It's so pretty. And of course, opal. Then when I went to the Tinsmith Wife, which if you've ever heard of this shop, it really is a gorgeous, gorgeous shop. She has knitting, needlepoint, and cross stitch in the shop. It's an old building. It looks like a converted home, but it's big and several rooms. It's just, it's a beautiful shop. Such nice people. And it's in a beautiful little town called Comfort, Texas. So there I found this fat quarter of 32 count Belfast crystal petals. I do not have a piece of white-ish sparkle fabric. You can see it has some blue, light blue modeling in it. It's so pretty. So I grabbed this. And then this color, these are Picture This Plus, by the way, these fabrics. 32 count crystal demoiselle. I have never seen this color. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my word, that is just so pretty. It's blues and purples and oh, it's just like the sky in the morning here, actually, in Colorado. And then this cat, this one is also 32 count crystal memory, and it's a fat quarter. And I don't have a color like this, so I grabbed this. Let's see if you can see. Oh yeah, you can see right through it too, to the window. So let me fold it, but it's dusty purple rose. It's so pretty. So you can see I went on a crystal binge, but I did buy one piece of Fiber on a Whim yellow diamond. You know, of all the pieces of fabric I have no yellow. I have fabric that has yellow in it, but nothing yellow. And this is buttery yellow. It's so fresh and light and creamy and pretty. So I grabbed a piece of this as well. So that was my fabric haul. Now, I just told you guys, I counted up out there. I have where I work, and I also have my stitching storage. I use IKEA cabinets. I like to keep it neat, so I have the 6-high Kallax cabinet, and I have all my project bags that are fully kitted projects. I have 67 of them out there on the shelf. And then this morning, as I was pulling all of this out from here to talk to you guys about, sorry, my next door neighbor has cute dogs, they're barking. I decided to count up or look to see how many empty project bags I have, because my husband said, you don't need any more project bags. I know you have a lot. Because I did buy 2 at retreat from WIP It Up project bags, which Julie is my friend. Julie makes beautiful bags, and this is one of the bags I bought. It's so cool. Julie's workmanship is really unrivaled. It is absolutely wonderful. And you see, they don't flop. They're really nice, and they have good structure. So I have that, plus, you guys are gonna laugh, I have all of these that need to be kitted up in some way. So, you know those pieces of fabric I got that I said I'm gonna put mirrors in, or they're put in mirrors? I have enough bags to kit up at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bags. Julie makes project bags in a few sizes. This is, I think, her largest size. You can see the difference, right? So I usually use this when I'm going somewhere and I don't want to take my full-on stitch bag. So, moving along, let's go through my WIPs. And they're in no order. I just have them all laid out here. I will show you the first thing I have, which is going to move ahead of everything else, because I am stitching for Under the Sea Fabrics shop. I am one of her many stitchers, and last year I did a few projects, and this year I haven't done anything. So if I go to San Antonio, I always try to take a project to work on. So she had a few on the table when I went into the shop and looked at fabric. Sorry for the crinkling. And I decided to take on Venetian Lion. I will pull a picture up of that to show you if you haven't seen it. It's by Dirty Annie's. And it's actually a really cool chart. So let me pull that up for you to show you. Dirty Annie's Venetian Lion. Here we go. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. Look at that. It is so cool. There's so much sparkle in it. So Jen, who works for Leslie and I, went through and kitted her up. And we stuck to pretty much the called for floss. I think all the called for floss. And using a 40 count fabric called Rooibos that Leslie dyes. So I will tell you, I stitched using, she calls for Rainbow Gallery, Petite Silk Lame, but it's 40 count. And I was stitching on it and it looked fine. And then yesterday I was stitching on it and I didn't like the way the stitches laid. So I tried doing a 10 stitch. I didn't like the way they were laying. It just left too much space. So I drove to my local stitch shop, which is called the A Stitching Shop. And I picked up, which if anyone from the shop is watching this, since I know you run Facebook, YouTube, Flosstubes, I changed the Rainbow Gallery to Petite Treasure Braid. And so far, let's see if you can see that. I think they lay much better and it looks nicer, but wow, you got to use short pieces, otherwise it starts to fray. And I think it's because just generally this is 40 count. If it was 32 or even 36, it probably would have been just fine, but this looks great. I think it's going to be so spectacular. So I'm stitching that, and I have it in the other Julie bag that I bought, WIP It Up project bags. I bought this at Retreat. So you can see Julie's, there's Julie's company name. And this is the back. They're just so well made bags. They're just so well made. Julie does a fantastic job. So this is going on the work on it every day. So what I'm gonna do is every morning I'll get up and stitch for a half an hour to an hour on that. So that way I can still work on other projects. The next project that I'm going to do, and as you all know, I get asked about constantly by my husband, is where is my dragon? So I have made him a promise that I would try to finish his dragon. I did work on it last night. The dragon is designed by 2x2 stitch art. It's on 32 count Picture This Plus opalescent ancient. I'm using 2 silks and 1 cotton floss. So the 2 silks are PR 181. I got the number right. From Silks for You, which if you haven't seen it yet, or this is the first time you're seeing my Flosstube, I will show you that this is what that looks like. It's just browns and grays and it's so cool. But I have to keep it in a freezer bag because it's so big. And I am using this color in silk, Cocoa Lot from Gloriana. So there you go, you can see that. So pretty, 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 pretty. And then I'm using scales from Night Stalker Calling. Now, if you've not seen Night Stalker, you should really go check them out on Etsy. Just cool, cool, cool variegation. And it looks so cool. I will show you the chart right now. And I'm so sorry about those dogs. They were quiet up until now. So here is how far I am on the dragon. So I have that whole frame stitched in the inside, and then the outside is really going to be a beast because it is a lot of stitching. But you can see how cool it looks. Let me see if I can just get in front of this here. There we go. And that PR 181 is all that variegation. It just looks so good on this fabric. So my husband keeps asking me, when are you going to be done? And, you know, I'm going to try to finish it for him. And I have it in a Rivertown Designs bag. You guys, his bags are cool. Let me show you why I have it in this bag. Because inside the bag is a dragon. Can you see that? Look at how cool that is. And the outside of the bag kind of looks like the design. So I just thought it was so cool. And you know, everything's got to match. So this is on the top of the rotation pile. So with that said, let me get up a little bit here and grab my next project, which is Muka from Mirabilia, who will be next in line. I really want to finish her this year. This is Muka. She's a big girl. And I am stitching her on 32 count Under the Seas fabric, Heaven's Fury, and opal. Keeping all of my project components in the Whip It Up bag from Julie. This is her Outlander bag. Very cool. I have done no conversions on this one. She's all in the called for. And, you know, I've made some more progress on her. You can see. Let's see if I can get in front of that. There we go. So you can see how far I am. She's gorgeous, really pretty, gonna be gorgeous when she's done. I just really need to finish her. And I have said this before and I'll say it again. This area right in here, if somebody from Wichelt ever saw this, I would like to say, for those of us who love stitching Mirabilias, maybe don't put symbols like that are numbers right next to each other. It's really hard to figure out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. when they're small. Just saying. Maybe it was easier when I was younger. That's a little difficult now. But Muka's third in line. I've got to get her done. So I'll keep her over here. What did I recently work on? Recently, and I will say I did not do much. But I do have Winter Rose Manor here in my room. And Winter Rose Manor is being stitched on 36 count Twixt and Tween from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. It has a hand dyed fibers by Vicki Clayton conversion that I purchased, but because my fabric was a little dark, the pink, what she had converted for the pink house, let me share that house again. The house is pink, and on this fabric that's so light, you can see it, right? You couldn't see it from the conversion that came with the Vicki Clayton silks. It just was looking like one big blob of white, frankly. So I changed it to Silken Colors Cherub Cheeks. And I think the pink looks like pink here. So you can see this is how far I've gotten. I like this fabric because to me it's very moody and kind of wintry, kind of bleak. I don't know. It just looked really good to me. So I am using all of the rest of the Vicki Clayton conversion to her silks. And I am keeping this in a, oh, this is a really cool bed, and I'm going to tell you about her too. Crafty Corey Stitches for Acorns and Threads. So Corey, who is my friend, makes bags exclusively for acorns and threads. I go, as I said earlier, to Portland once a year for the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, and I always pick up a bag from Corey. They're just, I can't say enough about that retreat. It is so much fun. It is so well organized. If you're on the list waiting to go, you should just go. If you can get in, you should go. Everybody has, you know, their threshold of how much money they can spend for retreats and what you expect or what the expectations are. Janine and her team do it right. So if you ever find yourself looking for a new retreat to try to attend, get into, that's one. Highly, highly recommend. Okay, next. And these are all WIPs that I will work on for the rest of the year. If I touch them once or twice, maybe. If I touch them more than once, maybe. My plan is to try to work on each one of them for a good amount of time, whether that is a day or 3 days or a week for each, and just keep rotating. That's my plan. Let me pull this over here. This next one is a Mirabilia. It is Adia, depending on how you say it, the Garden Fairy. I wrote down everything so I wouldn't forget. This is her picture. She's so pretty and sparkly and just pretty. But I convert things. So I had a crazy idea to convert her colors to all Roxy Floss Co. And because I'm in Colorado and the store is actually in Canada, I had to do it online. So I opened my laptop, opened my iPad, and was doing this and did a conversion. I reached out to Carrie, who is the owner and dyer of Roxy Floss Co., and asked her to just take a look at them as Hannah or whomever at Evertotes pulled the colors. And if she felt like something needed to be changed or the colors were just kind of off together, to let me know. And Carrie did. She did change one color. She thought it was just too bright compared to all the other colors that I chose. But she said I did a good job. They're all in here. You see my little red stickies because or my pink stickies. I had to write down what the DMC number was and then what my conversion to Roxy was. I think it came out good. Now, I will say, once I started stitching on this Pole Stitches fabric, and it's Pole Stitches 28 count Brittany Lugana in the colorway Windy Leaves. It's so pretty. But let me put a bag behind it so that way we can not get the window. I'll just put this bag behind it. So you can see, I think that's the right way, yes. The color that I had in here, I didn't like it, so I changed it, and I chose a DMC. And since it's all cotton, it'll be fine. But it's really light right now because this fabric is just pretty. It's so pretty. But when you look at it straight on, you really can see the yellows and the cream color. And I wanted her to look like not so much yellow, but I wanted it more to look like aged lace, if that makes sense. I just felt like out in the woods, a fairy would be kind of more natural colors. So I chose that. We'll see how the rest of it comes out. I really liked working on it. I've never worked on Brittany Lugano before, and it's not bad. Sure did dye nicely though. That color is so pretty. And I have it in a bag that is from my friend, Lady Lugana, Sarah. She sent me a bag from Fab Shabby Rose. And it's so pretty. I think it just matches with the whole theme of the outside nature and all of that. So she'll get some work. So moving on. Oh, let me put this here. I don't want to misplace all of my stuff. The next project is, and I have to open up my iPad again so that I can show the picture because I do not have this. I do have the picture somewhere, but for the life of me, I cannot find it right now. It's Christmas Flourishes, Mirabilia, and this is her, and she's quite pretty. And I will say, back when she came out, I did start her, and I did start her on that color you see right there. But back when she came out, we really didn't have the fabric, the colors of fabric we have now. We did not have so many dyers. We had just a few, and we had no overdyed and no mottled fabric and no multicolored and hardly any sparkle fabric. So I am choosing to do her on, and let me turn this page back to tell you. She is on 28 count opalescent fabric, hand-dyed fabrics by Stephanie in the colorway Versailles Red. I am that far. I didn't do anything since the last time you saw it. So I'm just this far, but look at that. It's gonna be so cool. I don't like Kreinik. You guys all know Mama Bear Stitchery, Debbie. She is a very good friend of mine. I one day just boxed it all up and sent it to her because I used Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure Braid and fell in love with it. And I learned to use that because Leslie told me to do it from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I love it. I think it's fabulous. I love the way it stitches. You have to use small pieces, but it stitches so much better than Kreinik, at least for me. So the reason why I started her before and then abandoned that piece, or why I abandoned the piece I started before, was because I stitched it with Kreinik and I just didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the fabric. It just looked like a crumbled mess. I just didn't like it. And I'm a pretty neat stitcher, so I just abandoned it. And I always knew I wanted to restitch her, and I thought she would look great on red, and I love this fabric. Oh my God, so pretty. It's just so pretty. And Stephanie dyed this because we talked about it at a retreat. She sat with me and I said, this is what I want. And she goes, let me send you something. And she did. And I said, oh my God, I love it. Thank you. So yes, this works. And I have it in, so I don't know if many of you are aware of Needle and Bone fabric, Needle and Bone. They're on Facebook, Tanya Rivas, and she makes project bags. Her bags are really cool. So this is a Needle and Bone bag. See the back. Now, It doesn't have the structure that Julie's bags do, but what Tanya does do, and her craftsmanship is amazing. She puts solid zippers at the top, and you get the pocket in the front with the zipper, so you can actually keep your pictures here, your chart here, and put the fabric. And because I have, I mean, this is all on a ring, and that's a pretty big ring, and she is, the fabric is in here, and the floss is in here, and everything. These are really well-made bags. So I have quite a few Tanya Rivas bags as well. So this one will get some work. Another Tanya Rivas bag. Look at how cool. Look at. Needle and Bone. Check them out. This is Lady of the Mist. She came out in 2006. It's Mirabilia. And I am stitching her on 28 count Under the Sea Fabrics Sugar Plum Fairies in Opalescent. And I'm sorry, I'm on the floor. I gotta stretch out. This is how far I am. I think, can't tell. This is the top. This is how it sits. So if I pull the picture out again, you can see how far or where I am. Let's see. I mean, I'm just across her lap. It's not very far. But she's really pretty. And I think she's going to be really pretty on this fabric. Now, let me say, and I may have said this before, I have a huge floss ring in here because, do you see those red flowers all around her? They're roses, right? So what I did was I pulled some teals and reds and purples, maybe like reddish purples. And I think I'm gonna do different colors on the flowers. At least I'm gonna try, we'll see how it looks. So she will get love this year. Oh yes, okay. The next mirror, I might as well just go through my mirrors. And you can see that I have quite a few mirrors in Tanya Rivas bags, the Needle and Bone bags. Here's another. Cool, 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 love them, great bags. So this is Sun Goddess. And I've talked to you guys about her before. Take a look at this area right here, because mine looks different. This is how far I am. Let me see, where did I write that one? Sun Goddess, 32 count hand-dyed fabrics by Stephanie in the colorway Changeling. And I am stitching her all in Rainbow Gallery silk. You can see I have a bunch done up there. And then here is very different from what you see here. I'm still gonna stitch this, but I just felt like this needed to come all the way down because those are folds in that skirt. I don't know, if I don't like it, I'll rip it out. So I'm just gonna continue working in this area. Stitch this piece in here and see if it looks weird or not. I don't think it's going to. I think it's gonna look good, but we'll see. So she is the sister piece to Gypsy Queen, which I converted to Rainbow Gallery's Splendor. And I had a fat half of the Changeling, so I cut it in half and said, I'm gonna stitch both of them, and when I'm done, I'll put them both up together. So she will get some love. Okay, just a few more, because I can't have too many WIPs, I'll lose my mind. This one I have done nothing on this year, but I have been thinking about it so much that I really feel like it's time for me to do something. So it's Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. I have her in a Julie bag, whip it up, in a fall themed bag. Love it, love it, love it, Julie, love it. I am stitching her on 36 count Fabrics by Stephanie in the color Nature's Dance. It's a big one, but look at the NPIs. And I've told this story before. I have stitched with NPIs before, for sure. But this is 36 count and I'm using 2 strands. I know. That's a lot of money. But wow, the color saturation is just incredible. Look at that. And while I have seen some gorgeous pieces like my friend Debbie, Mama Bear Stitchery, hers is on a purple and it looks amazing. But I think she used DMC, and when you look at the colors between the two, mine look completely different, but this is the conversion that the chart calls for. So they look great, they're just different. And I am not using black for the border. You can see all the borders. I just thought black would be too harsh. So instead, I grabbed a whole bunch of many of these called Acorn Woods in silken colors. I'm gonna lay it up here so you can see what that looks like. I just think that's really fallish and it looks really good with all the colors, all the NPIs. So that's the color I used. Because the black is already, you see that black. There's already a lot of black and I just felt like it was a little too much. So yeah, gotta work on this one. You know, and it's getting close to time where you start thinking about that fall stitching. I know we're just barely in summer, but at least I am thinking about fall stitching. So there's that. Let me put this over here. Okay, so this, I did nothing on this year, I don't think. Maybe a stitch or two just to get something in it. It's by Twin Peak Primitives. It's Scheherazad's Dream. This is what the chart looks like. Okay, so let me tell you guys a little bit of a story about this piece. That right there, that's my middle name. So I had to stitch this. Maybe I've told you that before. I'm Lebanese, so my middle name is Scheherazade. That, you know, my mom is an immigrant, so this is my name. I decided to do something with this chart that was new for me. I saw that Keepsakes has they might be on hold right now, a mystery surprise box. So I thought, let me try this. And they make you fill out a questionnaire. What do you like? What colors do you like? What fabrics do you like? What charts do you like? Things like that. So I filled mine out as best I could. I said, you know, I had this chart. I would love to see it converted into more, because to me, Middle Eastern art, Middle Eastern colors, thinking of Arabian Nights, I think of jewel tones. I think of the bright, bold jewel tones. So I asked if you were going to convert this for me, I would love to see it with bright, bold jewel tone colors. So I got back what I asked for, bright, bold jewel tones. And you can see this is as far as I've gotten. Now, take a really good look at that, and then I'll bring the chart back so you can see. It's on a sparkle fabric, which I said I liked, and it's 40 count Anye from Under the Sea Fabrics. So if you see that piece in the middle of the chart, because I start in the middle, it's right there. So it's not that different, but it kind of is when you see it like that. So I went through all the colors that Susan pulled, because I think her name is Susan who does this at Keepsakes. And I love the silks. I mean, look at those colors. Some of them were not what I thought. So if you see a bag like this one that has 2 colors in it, it's because I pulled something from my own stash and put it in there. Otherwise, I pretty much agreed with what she chose in here. So very excited about this piece. Someday I will finish this piece. I have it in a bag that I bought at an Annabella's retreat from Creative Country Girls bags, and I thought it was really cool. It's like an old world kind of bag with a hang. I don't know, it's kind of cool, so I have it in here. Okay, this is one of Julie's bags. It's a big one, but the design is actually on the inside of the bag. So it's a Whip It Up project bag. And inside of this is South Seas Mermaid. So let me just say, I have a group of friends that sometimes we talk about, well, everybody, let's stitch something together. Let's stitch a mirror. Let's stitch a mermaid. So we all chose South Seas, Mermaid of the South Seas. That's her name, sorry. And I said, oh, let me do what I do. Let me convert it to Rainbow Gallery silks. So I did. And then I looked at how many chronics were in this chart and said, oh, let me pull out all my Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure braid. So I did. And there's no reason why this is not done. I'm really close, but you know, it's just a whip for now. I am stitching it on Under the Sea Fabrics 32 count Bewitched Opal. She's pretty, right? I just got to finish her, but see, this is why I use Petite Treasure braid, because look at all of that in the middle. That is all Petite Treasure braid. And she looks pretty. And those silks, gotta love those silks. So maybe I'll finish her this year. We'll see. Just 3 more. I know I've talked about this one before. This is a Hacks sampler from Hands Across the Sea. Now, I like samplers. I don't like all of them, but I like them. I like the historical aspect of samplers. I also feel like, honestly, guys, when I'm dead and gone, I don't care what happens to my stuff. I'll be dead. I'll be gone. I'll be off doing other things. I get that there are people who are sampler purists and there are people who, like me, are not. So hopefully nobody gets offended by the fact that I change stuff and I change things on samplers. Like I said, I appreciate the historical aspect behind them, but for me, you know, this has a really cool verse on it, and I'm gonna read it to you. It says, when time who steals our years away shall steal our pleasures too, the memory of the past will stay and half our joys renew. Then think no more of future gloom, these joys will always last, for hope will brighten days to come and memories gild the past. That's cute, but I think the verse from a Beatles song is gonna go in there. So I am stitching this on Under the Sea Fabrics Anya. Now you just saw Anya for the Shahrazad's Dream. I am stitching, that was opal. This is 40 count, not opal. Is it? No, it's 36 count Anya, and it's not opal. And that's how far I've gotten. It's pretty. It's really pretty. See that band right there? Oh, that band in the middle? Yeah, I stitched the wrong color. And I converted this to silks, all silks, classic color words, Belle Soie, really pretty, and used the wrong damn color. But I'm leaving it because always forward, never back. And I would like to finish this someday. I think it'll be really pretty framed. But this one is a, you know, stitch when I feel like stitching a sampler. And it's in the other Outlander bag from Whip It Up Project Bags, Under the Sea Fabrics. Very cute. Thank you, Julie. Okay, 2 more. Let Love Rain. You all know Teresa Kogut, Let Love Rain. For those of you that haven't seen the picture of the chart, this is the chart. It's pretty. I think Stitchy Sarah Reed's, I think she's finished it. I've seen other people have finished things, finish this one. I have not. I am stitching it on Under the Sea Fabrics Properly Primitive in 40 count. It's not sparkle. Stop the press. It's not sparkle. And I'm using a bunch of silks from Stash. So I did a Stash dive and said, what color did Teresa call for? And then what do I have that kind of maybe makes sense in that spot? So I did it my own conversion. See those blues? Ooh, those blues are so pretty. Okay, so far, that's as far as I've gotten. And you can see that blue. I just think that blue is so cool. And so, and also because in the chart, I'm gonna go back to that picture, and I may have said this before, the picture in the chart, if I can find the darn page, yes, it's right here. Okay, so the border, they're all gold flowers, but I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have like some blue and gold in the border to kind of bring that blue out into the border? So that's what I'm gonna do. And it'll just be like, I don't know, on a whim where I decide to stitch it. Of course, it will have to be symmetrical because I'm really weird about that. I like symmetry. But otherwise, that's what I'm gonna do with this one. That's the plan anyways. And this one is a fun stitch. It's not hard. It goes fairly quick. It's just I have a lot of whips, at least for me. And I have it in a Julie bag, Whip It Up project bag. Teresa Kogut fabric. Pretty, pretty, right? See that? It's so pretty. So, there's this one. And then my last one is the Vanity Sampler from Hello from Liz Matthews. I have this, and let me pull the chart out first. There you go. This is the chart. Just take a good look at that chart because you're not going to see that in my bag. What you're going to see is Seraphim's Newcastle linen in the colorway Honey Amber. It's a little dark. And I've converted the entire chart. So I've said this before, Cam the Stitcher shared her conversion. It's kind of like goth colors, which I thought were very cool. But this more suits my palette. So I converted to Aversois silk, sorry, and in these colors. And it's cool. And I have it in a painted leaf co bag. So that's kind of all I have for my whips. So, you know, my plan is, like I said, I'm gonna stitch whatever the mood strikes me. Definitely I have focus pieces. My focus pieces will be the Mirabilia, the Under the Sea Fabrics model, the Venetian Lion, and of course, can't forget my husband's dragon. I'd really like, he's downstairs, so I'll just say my plan is to try to work like crazy on it to get it done before his birthday. I'm not sure I can do that, but I'm gonna try. I have some things coming up like at the beginning of August at our shop, a stitching shop in Denver. She's put together a class, and I probably can show you guys. I haven't started them yet. Forgive me as I reach over here and grab this. It's a class piece. And the class is being taught by Stephanie from Lindy Stitches and Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery. And it's these two pieces. How cute are they? So they sent us the kits to get started on the stitching, and they sent us this fabric. So Stephanie, if you're watching, laugh, because I changed the color of the fabric. I think that's gonna be better. So I'm gonna use these, and I'm actually probably gonna start on these today, just because I would like to put them together and put them downstairs. Those are the colors. So I have that the first weekend of August, and Julie from Whip It Up Project Bags and Mama Bear Stitchery Debbie are coming to stay here with me, and we're gonna go together. And then I have, like I said, Acorns and Threads Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit in September, and my daughter's wedding in October. So I mean, I have plans for the rest of the year, but stitching always, I do it every day. I try. So in the mornings, I'll get up, work on stitching, work. I've told you guys I work still full time. I'm a health information manager, so I work for Anthem. I will be working for a few years to come at least. So I have that, but I can't have too many WIPs. If I do, I really will just kind of go crazy. I love the process of stitching, which is why I do like to take the models. I'm not so happy about so many WIPs. I would just like to just work through them. But anyway, that's where I am. One last thing I wanted to say, which was how much I appreciate Sarah, Lady Lugana, and Maria the Green Stitcher for mentioning my channel. I really appreciate that. You know, I do this just really for cataloging where I am. And I hope that I am bringing some inspiration to try new things, to reach out and, you know, choose different fabrics, change colors. You do you, right? You don't have to do, these are, charts are suggestions to me. And if somebody ever said it wasn't a suggestion, then I probably wouldn't stitch their stuff. So I think that's it. I hope everyone has a great month of July, and I will talk to you guys in a few weeks. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.